Future of Honor Friday on the ROH YouTube channel. I am Joe Dombrowski coming at you from the Ring of Honor Dojo in Bristol, Pennsylvania. It's tag action this week. Let's go to some pre-recorded comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite wrestlers' favorite tag team, Lex Vegas, Jackson Cade, The Commission. Now we've been up and down the roads and all across the country, and we landed right where we need to be, and that's at Future of Honor. Tell them, Jax.
I only got one thing to say. We came here to accomplish one goal, and that's to be the best tag team in the world. So this is your official notice. Everyone in the locker room, everyone around the world, we taking over.
Taking over. Just like that.
Future of Honor. Everyone says that the future is bright.
Future's always filled with potential. Everybody's optimistic about the future.
But the future is marvelous.
The future is the meanest it's ever been. Baby, the future is about to become number one.
Future of Honor, the future is
one mean team.
So it's the Commission set for tag team action against One Mean Team. There you see Miss Jasmine on the outside escorting One Mean Team, who choose to showcase the code of honor with one another rather than with the Commission. It looks like it's going to be Lex Vegas for the Commission, starting things out with Mr. Number One himself, Bryan Johnson. There you see a look at the partner of Bryan Johnson. That is Justin Pusser. Bryan Johnson is a bit of a handful in the personality department, isn't he? Wee bit overbearing, to say the least, as he gets the first shot in on Lex Vegas, who is not amused. And Vegas unloads with the right hand. Lex Vegas, about a decade in the game. And the Commission, certainly, what they bring to the table is a very physically imposing presence. A combined weight hovering around that 700-pound mark, as Vegas makes the tag into Jackson Cade. Cade, the lesser experienced, a protege of Vegas. Nice double team there. The boot and the Russian leg sweep combo. Bryan Johnson in a bad way at this point in time. We've seen One Mean Team multiple times before in Future of Honor. Last time we saw them, they took Coast to Coast LSG at Shaheem Ali in Pittsburgh as part of the Global Wars Tour, and look out! Hard back suplex by Jackson Cade, 339-pounder. Tag back into his Commission partner. Commission have based their career in an area I'm very familiar with, Northeast Ohio area. Tons of hang time, making Bryan Johnson think about the double suplex. Vegas in for the cover for two. These men have built up quite a reputation for themselves. At one point held 7 different sets of regional tag team championships across the Midwest. And Johnson with a heavy-handed chop, and marvelous Miss Jasmine creating a diversion that I think caught Vegas off his game, allowed Johnson to tag in Justin Pusser. A little bit more of an even match physically speaking, as Pusser gets a shot in. Jasmine, the diversion. Johnson able to hang Vegas up. It is a discus forearm by Pusser. And this One Mean Team, they are thick as thieves. They are almost like they're programmed with the same mind as Johnson goes high risk. The tope to the floor, one mean team taking a chance. Certainly it pays off in this exchange. But man, one mean team have a very deep playbook. They will distract, they will divert, they'll do whatever they can do to get a mental or psychological edge on their opponents, regardless of how ethical it may or may not be. And Pusser is the mask behind the mouth of Bryan Johnson. He's always the backup, makes sure Johnson can get away with saying whatever he wants and get his cheap shots in as well on the outside. Pusser, the last student of Maniac Matt Bourne, as Jasmine gets her shots in as well. No shame from anybody here. One mean team has been around together for over 3 years. They have the advantage as far as a collective unit. And Jackson Cade on the outside watching his mentor, now the receiving of a double team. Vegas is the one that introduced Cade into professional wrestling. They've been around a couple of years now, maybe a little bit longer, but one mean team showing that synergy, but Vegas showing that power. Why they call him the Black Superman, as now Johnson with a chancery as he sensed Vegas inching his way closer to Jackson Cade. Cade wants to see that tag. Many of our fellow dojo attendees surrounding this ring watching on as these fellow prospects do battle. They'd love to see a tag as well. I don't think anybody in this room likes Bryan Johnson. Can you blame him?
You're messing with the wrong team!
Ooh.
Get him, Bryan! I'm gonna hit the pose!
Oh, not the pose. Anytime I see this guy, he brags about his famous pose. He loves the pose. Couldn't get him that time, though. Again, powered out was Vegas. Maybe Johnson could hit the pose of having his arm raised by the referee. As a cheap shot a moment ago to Cade. Vegas able to catch Johnson, though. From behind comes Pusser. And there's that synergy of one mean team. Johnson the drop kick. Johnson very proud of his history as a class president back in his younger years. Calls himself the Mecca of manhood, the Rolls Royce of wrestling. Very, very full of himself. If wrestling success was measured on the size of your ego, I think Bryan Johnson would already be a world champion. And Vegas finds himself about as far away from his corner as he can get at this point. In a bad way at this time. Oh, got the elbow up. The one mean team double team. Didn't pay off, but Jasmine was the neutralizer. Tripping up Vegas. And one mean team back in their comfort zone. There's a cover. Only two again. You can sense, even though Vegas is in a bad way, he's able to demonstrate that power, that strength, and not just covering up. Defensive position as Pusser just flails away with wild strikes. And blatant disrespect, the slap to the face. Oh, wait, now wait a second. I don't think anybody accused Pusser of being the most couth, the most sanitary individual. And just going for blatant insult to injury as Vegas turns things around. Huge mid-ring collision. Both athletes down. Could be a turning point in this contest. Johnson wants a tag. He's going to get it. One mean team make the exchange, but Vegas, oh, we got the tag. Jackson Cade in the ring. And the man who once played college football for Youngstown State, is showing you the power he possesses. That natural athleticism. Oh, what a splash! That could do it. Pusser the save. And you want to talk about power, Jackson Cade. School record for deadlift, 645 pounds. This guy's just got raw power for days, and if one mean team get caught in his grasp, this matchup could be over quickly. Commission now with a double team. Johnson now victim of his own medicine. A double dab. And a huge splash by Cade, and assisted senton driving all the weight down into Johnson. That's almost 700 pounds, and now Pusser onto Johnson. Johnson can't catch a break, this will do it. No. About as close as you can get. Now Jasmine on the apron causing a diversion. Pusser at the nick of time saved this matchup for one mean team. Now Jasmine again sensing her team is in danger. A diversion. Jackson Cade is buying in on the outside, or rather behind. It is Vegas now. Victim of a Samoan drop from Pusser. Meanwhile on the outside, Jasmine continues to cause havoc. Now Cade realizes he's about to be a victim of a sucker punch. And wait a second, Jasmine just slipped a steel chain. There's a great shot of it. Johnson's got a chain. Cade has no idea. Cade gonna elevate Johnson, who just hit Cade between the eyes. Oh, Cade was out before he hit the ground. Johnson the tag. Here comes Pusser. Shades of Matt Bourne, that whoopee cushion, that seated senton, whatever you want to call it. One mean team pick up the victory. And Johnson and Pusser and Jasmine couldn't be prouder of their devious deeds.
You better know it, baby doll.
One mean team able to survive as we check out the replay. There you see the clear shot of the chain right between the eyes. He got a second shot in there as well. The seated senton, the Matt Bourne special by Justin Pusser, leads to the 3 count. One mean team are victorious. Oh, and now they're all about respect after the most dishonorable way possible to win this matchup. The commission knows what happened, even though the official doesn't. But one mean team escape, and I mean literally escape, with the victory. This week on Future of Honor Friday, from the Ring of Honor Dojo, Bristol, Pennsylvania, I'm Joe Dombrowski. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.